Can we merit miracles today? Hi, my name is Avrohom Czapnik from the Jewish Learning Exchange. I hope you and yours are well. This week's Torah portion is Parshat Eikev, and in it says the words V'yachalta, you should eat, V'savata, you should be sated, Uveirachta, you should bless. And here we learn the law of having the grace after meals, after we have a meal with bread or pita or matzah. And we say the grace after meals, which has several different components to it. The first part talks about the Almighty sustaining us all the time. And that was written by Moses. And even if we work and earn the money, but we have to remember ultimately the Almighty is the one who sustains us. The second blessing was made by Yehoshua, by Joshua, and that's mostly about the land of Israel. The third blessing is about peace on Jerusalem and the temple, written by King David, David HaMelech, and Shlomo HaMelech, and King Solomon. And the fourth blessing was written during the times of Bar Kokhba, where the Almighty provided great miracles for us. And it's a very beautiful, beautiful prayer. It's found on page 184 in the Art Scroll Siddur. And yes, well, we could say, well, God performs miracles for us all the time. First of all, that we get up in the morning is a big miracle. That the Jewish people have survived until now is a great miracle. The complexity and beauty of nature is a daily miracle. If we open our eyes, we could see it. But let's take it further than that, and even more than that. There was a man, and he would sit in his sukkah, his hut, during the holiday of Sukkot, and he would do the grace after meals with great intensity and fervor and joy. And the neighbors heard him do this every single time there was a meal. He was always saying it so beautifully. And one time they asked him, why do you do that? And he said a very beautiful and powerful story. He said when he was young, he was living in Eastern Europe, and a great rabbi came to visit their school and tested the boys. And his name was Rabbi Meir Shapiro. And he said, because you did so well, I'm going to tell you a secret that could help you. It's going to be a gift for life. And he quoted a halachic source, and the Berheita brings the chinuch that says one who recites the grace after meals with intent, great intent, then anger and fury will have no rule over him, and he will always have food in abundance and with honor for his whole life. And this young student said, wow, that's an amazing thing. And he started doing that, and he started saying the grace after meals with great intensity. And this was not easy, because the other boys in his class would say it, but a little faster, and they would go out to play, but he took his time and would say it always with great intensity. And even though it took him longer, World War II came, and they were online, and there was a selection. Unfortunately, those that were the children and old and weak would go to the left to be killed, and the ones on the right would live. He was a tall boy, and he was able to stand tall, but they were asking everybody, what can you do? And he didn't know what to say. What should he say? Someone behind him said, tell them you're a cook, and I'm your assistant. So that's what he did. And he was sent to life and sent to work in the kitchen. And in the kitchen, you have the ability to get extra food. And he saw the blessing again of him saying the grace after meals with such intensity that he was able to have extra food. But one day a Nazi came and said, hey, what's a Jewish guy doing in the kitchen? Get out. And he took him outside and took him to a very hard, rocky, earthy place. And he said, Jews become fat in the kitchen. He wasn't getting fat, but getting fat in the kitchen? No, if you dig me a 2-meter ditch here so we can fight against the Russians, then I'll let you stay in the kitchen. And he gave him a little hoe, and there was no way in 2 hours he was going to be able to build this 2-meter ditch for the German soldier. But he prayed, Almighty, please, what should I do? I'm relying on you. Please, you have to help me. And as he's praying, some German soldiers are driving by in a truck, and they say, "Hey, the Jew's there!" And they start throwing fruits and vegetables at him. "Yeah, Jew, you terrible person!" And he's being bombarded with these fruits and vegetables, which of course is something for him to eat. He saw the fulfillment again of his prayers, but at the same time he's still stuck. What is he going to do with the ditch that he has to dig in 2 hours? And then a few minutes later, another truck rolls by with Polish workers. And they say, "Hey, can we have some of the fruit? Hey, can we have some of that? The vegetables you have there?" And he said, "Well, I'll tell you what. If you guys get off the truck and work for me and make a ditch, I'll pay you with the fruits." They got off the truck, they had shovels, and they dug the whole 2-meter ditch, and he gave them the fruits and vegetables. He didn't lift a finger. He was the supervisor. And they did it, and he gave them the fruits and vegetables, and they left. And the German officer returned and said, "How did this happen?" "I knew that your God was with the Jewish people also." "All right, you can go back into the kitchen." So that story is the motivation for him, was the continuing motivation for him to continue to be super meticulous about saying the grace after meals. So the answer to our original question, can you do miracles today? Yes, God provides miracles with us all the time. But if you want special miracles, if we go the extra mile, then sometimes God will do extra things for us as well. Have a very wonderful Shabbos, and we'll be inspired to read the grace after meals. It's a very beautiful prayer, again, 184, in the Art Scroll. And be blessed with blessing and protection and health for you, your families, and the entirety of the Jewish people. Have a wonderful Shabbos. All the best.